Good morning. My name is Doug Horst. Welcome to my YouTube channel, uh, The Adventures of Pop Pop, Dad, and the Entrepreneur. Today I want to tell you the story of how God just recently healed my liver. Yes, you heard me right. He did heal my liver. I'll give you a little background history, not a lot. Uh, Back when I was 46 years old, 14 years ago, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. And I got my mastectomy and on the right side here. And had to go through all kinds of chemo, lost my hair, all that stuff, the appetite, metal taste, the whole deal. But eventually recovered from that, and I felt God had healed me. Well, 4 years later, it metastasized in my bones, and I'll be honest, I got bitter and mad at God. I thought, God, you healed me. What's going on now? But again, eventually, I got over that and was not mad at God anymore. And then I started having problems in my internals, in my stomach area, my internal. I started turning yellow. My skin was all itchy. A very, very miserable time. The itchiness was so bad, I just couldn't. I had to walk around. I walked around in my underwear naked all the time. I know it sounds weird and gross, but I couldn't stand that clothes on. Was constantly taking showers and oatmeal baths, and that only helped for like while I was in the shower and while I was in the bath. Didn't last very long. So finally, I went to the doctors after quite a while of suffering. I don't know why I am that way, but sometimes I seem to take forever to do things like that. And here it turns out I had a blockage, and you're supposed to have bilirubin that drains out of you every day and goes through bile ducts and through your liver. And I don't even understand all that, everything, and it doesn't really matter. That's not the point of the story. But I ended up getting two stents put in. They opened it up. Everything was float. The very first day was pretty bad. I think if you ever heard of pancreatitis, I think I'm saying that right. Feels like you're, I don't know, you got a lot of pain and you don't go away. And I had to go to the hospital and spend about 5 days in dealing with that. And then after that, it seemed like every 3 or 4 months I'd have to get them cleaned. Your bilirubin should be zero point 0.2 to 1.2 as normal. And as soon as mine gets above, 1.2, I call my doctor and ask him to schedule right away. He usually gets me in right away, which is great. If not, it might take a couple of weeks and it goes up. And I don't ever want to go through that itchiness again. I mean, that was horrible. And I never want to go through that again. So I always, the very day that I get my blood test, I get blood tests once a month, shows my cancer numbers and all kinds of stuff. But the one I care about most is bilirubin because I know what that can do to me. So this story kind of begins on May 5th of this year. I believe it was a Friday. I was scheduled for a routine cleaning, and I knew the drill. You go in, you don't feel good for a couple of days, and then about a week later, you start feeling better. Well, this time, I didn't feel better. I started feeling worse and worse. And a week went by, and I was scheduled to do my treatments. And I don't know why they make me do it, but they make me do my treatments on schedule. It seems like no matter what's going on. So I got my treatments done a week later. It was a Monday. So it was about 10 days after. And oh my God, the next day, I felt like I had the flu. I was so sick. It was awful. And I never got better. I started turning jaundiced again. I started getting weak. When I was looking at things, they were fuzzy. So I called the doctor and said, "Hey, I don't think this is working." I said, I think my bilirubin's getting worse." So we did some blood work, and here, sure enough, my bilirubin was at 15. I've never seen it that high before, so I don't know how high it can go before it's damaged. I know my sodium was real low. They told me that they thought that if I don't take care of it, I could start having seizures. I could get brain damage that was permanent, irreversible. Well, when I heard that, I don't want to have brain damage. I want to have a clear head and be able to have fun with my grandkids and talk to my own children, my wife, and have normal conversations. My wife calls me crazy all the time anyway, so if I had this, I probably would have really been crazy for real instead of just being called it. So anyway, um, I was correct. It was not getting better. So they recommended that I check myself into LGH, which stands for Lancaster General Hospital, immediately. And my daughter drove me there on a Friday morning around 10 o'clock. I don't remember the exact date. I just don't. It was a Friday, probably 2 or 3 weeks after this, May 5th, so somewhere in there. And they knew I was in bad shape.